What do you choose in life? Is that what you're choosing actually in your highest good? Do you choose it from a place of an open heart, or do you choose it because it seems to be so normal to you, maybe so familiar to you? Why do you choose what you choose, right? Why do you do that? You see, oftentimes we have no clue why we do things because it's so an automatic process. We just choose because we feel like this is what we need. And we are not really thinking about it. Do I need this connection? Do I need the things that I bought in my groceries? Really? Is this really my highest good? Now you can say, hey, I cannot do this all the time, right? I cannot do this uh, like every minute. Well, how about like a half an hour a day? How about really looking at your daily life and understanding, hey, actually, I might not be in my highest good, right? I might not act in my highest good. And this is not to punish you. This is not to pull any fingers or to point at you. This is about, hey, am I actually aware of my doings? And it's so intertwined with our patternings, right? We feel so drawn to things because that's like pointing fingers again. It's pointing fingers to something. And then we feel like, oh, well, if this person is standing in front of me and I feel this lovely connection and it's so deep and it's so painful, I may need to go and interact with that guy or with that girl, right? I may need to really choose this kind of love again, or this type of relationship in however way you want to put it, right? The question is it in your really in your highest good, and is it possible that the way you walk your life, you may need to choose different. You may need to say, hey, okay, I see you. I really see you. I see you in front of me. I see that you are there. I see what you try to tell me. And I feel really drawn. But you see, just because you're feeling drawn doesn't mean you need to do it. It doesn't mean, hey, take action. Many people believe, hey, this is my intuition telling me, you get super excited, right? Another person in your life, right? Maybe the week before it was, I don't know, XYZ, right? Um, and it's repeating itself over and over again. And when you're looking back in your life, it gets easier when you're a little bit older because you see the patternings, right? You see, hey, I'm repeating the same thing. I'm meeting the same people. I feel drawn to them. Now, feeling drawn to someone or feeling the need, like, I really need this, right? Is kind of this desire of like desperate wanting, right? But it's not coming from a pure place. You see, there is an extreme, huge difference, and everyone feels different about this. So I just tell you my way. And going into this and seeing, hey, actually, I feel super drawn to this. So let's look into it. Did this actually happen before this person or this circumstance or whatever it is, right? Did this happen before? Am I actually repeating here something? What is it that I'm repeating? And did this happen in my family before, right? Is there some kind of connection? Can I see, hey, my mom did the same, my dad did the same? Maybe it's a money block, right? Maybe the way how you're spending money is very similar to your dad or your mom. Maybe it was a lot of shame around it. And now what you're creating is some kind of repetitive, but you're not really happy with the outcome. You're not really happy with how you're spending your money or how you are how your relationship is with money. You see, money isn't evil, but many people grew up with the idea that money is evil, and if I have money, then this belief kind of kicks in, which is about, hey, I don't want to be evil, so I rather don't have I rather don't have any money, right? The way how we are creating is so impressive. It's so crucial to understand, hey, we are co-creators in this reality. We are doing our part very well. And I'm not saying that this is always like in your desire area, right? And I mean in your highest desire. But what I can say is that oftentimes what shows up in your world is exactly what you need. So you are at the point where you need to be. And that always gave me the peace I needed to confront myself, right? To look in the mirror and to be really, really honest. Like, is this really a relationship I want to enter? Is this kind of money really what I want to spend? Is this job really what I want to go for? Or am I just repeating the same things over and over again, recognizing at one point, hey, no change, right? I wanted to change this or this or this, but in order to do so, I need to actually make a shift 180 degrees to totally do something else. Maybe, I don't know what, right? Do something else because I'm not flourishing anymore. I don't feel that I'm in mm, in the juice, right? I don't feel the juice anymore. So we have to understand that repetitive patterns showing up in our life are great teachers. It's not your burden. It's not something you need to look at and feel bad about it. But it's crucial to understand that they are not only here to say to you, hey, come again. It's like, do you want another round? And I mean another round of like going downhill. You know what I mean? And I really have to laugh because, to be honest, let's not make everything so harsh, right? Let's not pretend that a life is always like super easy, and sometimes we just follow things and we know it's not good, but we just can't go anywhere else, or we just don't find the confidence in choosing something else. So this video is simply here to bring an awareness to you to maybe look at areas in your life that you may need to clean, right? That may need a small cleanup, that may need your eyes on those ideas that you're following, those beliefs you're following, right? I'm not deserving anything more. I'm living already the life that I can have, and there is no more. There is always more. There is always more for you in store. The question is, can you hold the frequency? Can you hold the energy that actually requires, right? And if the answer is no, then you can work on that. There is not a no, but there is a maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, right? But you can always start to heal, and start to heal is actually by being aware or becoming aware that something is repetitive. Something is coming again and again and again, and you may not want to do it again, okay? And you may have to go a little bit into the rabbit hole to understand what is actually the picture, to then leave it alone, to then say, okay, now I really think I got it this time. And maybe it's coming again, and that's so okay. That's so okay, because we are here to learn. We are here to learn what our intuition is actually teaching us. You see, our gut isn't actually speaking really our words. Our gut is sharing information with us, and we have no idea what it actually says, because we haven't really learned that language. We haven't really learned to this deep knowing, right? If we just deep know that something isn't good for us, our mind wants to make, yeah, but maybe we can get this or this or this. And while our mind is super helpful at one point, um, it might not be when it comes down to your highest desires, your pure desires, your desires to your destiny line. Because you see, our ego is connected to things that are rather in survival mood. Our ego rather tries or works on, I need to stay where we are in order to survive. And so that's pretty good, right? I mean, in earlier days, that was pretty good because surviving was actually necessary for you to grow, right? So I think updating that kind of personality structure is really, really helpful. And I feel we shouldn't blame or say like, oh, I cannot do it because my ego is on the way and I need to get rid of my ego. No, you don't. You're a human being. It will always be there. But how can you work with it? How can you, let's say, for example, you really have to drive for, I don't know, a lot of cash, right? But, and now maybe you have it and it's not making you happy and you're like, what the hell, right? I did what I thought would bring me the happiness, but it's not coming. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel my heart is expanding. And that's another point, right? People don't know what is happiness because they cannot feel it. They're not connecting to nature anymore. And nature is a great teacher on what it means to open up your heart to really feel into that love, to feel into what it means to feel fulfilled. We don't know anymore because in those cities, you know, it's not really with nature. You are not standing on the ground really. You are just pretending to be something you're not. And I really mean something, not someone. Putting on a mask to be someone you're not, to pretend to be this or this person, just to show up, to show up as a version that you think is expected from you. And this is how most of the cities actually work, right? It's like, I need to show something that I'm successful because that's looked as good in our society. And I don't mean you shouldn't be successful, right? But success should be redefined on however level that looks for you. Success shouldn't be based on how much money you're making. Success shouldn't look like, hey, if you don't have a house, you're a loser. Or if you don't have this relationship or kids or blah, 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 you are a loser. That's for me really like, okay, we need to look into our belief system here, right? That's something to work on, I feel. And you feel into what it means for you, right? You feel into yourself and your own story and what it actually means for you, right? What is happiness for you? What does it mean to be open, to really flourish, to have this love for yourself and for the other people, right? This is not, it's really not about, hey, I need to do much. And I think that's what gets really tricky for people because they believe, and I used to believe that I need to do something to get something. You know what I mean? I need to constantly be or showing my worth. I need to constantly prove myself. And if I'm not proving myself, well, why would I deserve it? Why would I deserve it? And that's clearly a wounded thing from me, right? Where I was discovering this kind of thing, that I always had the feeling, okay, well, I cannot give you anything. Like, let's not start anything because I don't have it, right? I don't have it. But sometimes you're at the receiver end and sometimes you're at the giver end. And I feel that there are people around you who just purely want to gift you, who purely want to give you something. And we are changing the subject here. Who purely want to give you their heart, or something they have to offer to you. And it's not for you to say, okay, I can only do this if I can give you something back to show you my value. And we are talking here about the pure giving, right? From people who are not expecting anything back from you. We are talking here really from someone who is pure in their heart, or quite pure in their heart. And the way how they are giving it to you is by you allowing it in, you saying yes to something that you may have not experienced. For example, there is this one lady, and I know her now for quite a while. And she was really able to open my heart because it was quite closed and I didn't feel really much trust into women. And I needed some kind of person who was just really a pure hearted person, right? Very warm, very opening and welcoming. And so I met this girl, and that's a while ago now. And whenever I meet her, I can feel my heart is just expanding, and I can see it on her face. She's not really doing it consciously. I told her last time that I can feel what she's doing. She was totally surprised. She's like, I have no idea. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't know. But see, sometimes this is working on a subconscious level. So if I'm now on the receiver end and I feel like I need to give something that she doesn't even want, because what she's doing is not really something that she's doing consciously. That's just who she is. She's doing that with everyone, by the way. But I just really needed that energy from her to heal myself, to really let go of some burdens I couldn't heal myself. And so I thought that was so beautiful, because she didn't expect anything in return for that, and she never really said anything about it. But I could feel that at the end of our conversations, it's like a trade-off. Like, she is receiving what she needs unconsciously from me. And well, now it's conscious, but you know what I mean. Like, I didn't really give her something. It's not always about, hey, I need some material to hand you over because I'm grateful. Sometimes a good conversation, or some kind of energy exchange is way more valuable than I'm giving you a gift card to say thank you, right? And so she had on her side, she was also dealing with some anxiety and those kind of things. And it was kind of beautiful, because she said, you know, since I know you, I'm actually way more confident, and I start to see that it wasn't my fault, and I can start to be more secure in my own abilities, in my own growing, and I'm really, really reconnecting to myself. And that's so beautiful, because I feel like I can be myself next to you. It was such a gift to hear that. Such a gift. If someone tells me, hey, I can be just myself next to you, that is the purest thing you can say to me, you know? It opens my heart. It makes me feel like, yeah, girl, you go. You go. You go, girl. You go, girl. I'm the biggest celebrator of those people who are like, you know what? You're right. I just be myself. And I learned what it means to be myself, because I have zero clue what that means. So while I'm on the search to my inner journey, I may as well just try out a few things and see if that is actually helping me growing. And so that was what she was doing. She was open to conversation, and she was ready to heal. And I was opening my heart, expanding. And it was so beautiful, because it was really an intertwining of, yeah, we met so much on eye level. So I'm so grateful for that conversation. And by the way, you are looking or listening right now, the one I'm talking to, thank you so, so much for that conversation just yesterday. That was beautiful. And yeah, I just want to say one more thing to round this whole up. This is a journey where we are growing daily. And sometimes we have good days, sometimes we haven't. I feel though, tapping into those fields of your patterns. Hey, what is repetitive? What is it that I really don't like? Why am I not liking it, right? So going back to the beginning where we were talking about um, uh, you may want to look into repetitive things that you're doing over and over again. Look into those patterns. And if you don't know, your friends will know. They will tell you right away. Ask people you trust and ask like, hey, what do you think I'm doing over and over again that isn't really good for me? Okay. So sometimes it helps when you're getting another perspective. Don't get offended if it doesn't feel nice. You know, sometimes those kind of emotions are arising because you feel like put in the spotlight. It doesn't matter. Be in the spotlight. We all have things we'd like to cover up. We all do. But it gets easier the more you are doing that, you know, the more you're standing in front of people and you say, like, hey, actually, what do you think I could work on? What do you think is my weakness? What do you think I'm repeating all over again while that's maybe not good for me? Ask people who have the best and highest interest for you, right? And maybe not your parents. Maybe not your parents, because your parents are very. They probably mean it well for you, but they have their own ideas on how your life should look like, and I feel that's sometimes not so helpful. It's great to have, for example, someone who is always giving you support, you know, whatever you're doing, blah. But sometimes you need someone who is actually telling you, hey, wake up, you know, like this is here. And sometimes you may actually need someone who is just giving you a hug and saying, listen, I just feel like you need to go through this, and it may take some time, and, you know, share some love with you, which is completely a different perspective. Maybe you never had that from your parents, right? So ask people you trust. And if you don't have that, look at yourself and ask yourself, hey, what am I doing here all the time? What am I trying to hide? You know, maybe you have also, maybe you have uh, the, how do I say that? It's not really the addiction, but like, you know, what are you doing to not deal with your stuff? What are you constantly doing to avoid yourself? Maybe that's watching TV, watching porn, um, uh, doing shopping, alcohol, drugs, right? All of that. What is it that pulls you out of going inward, right? What we want is going inward to expand, right? But what you're doing when you're watching TV, you're mainly sucking your life out, because what is coming in the TV or anywhere else than going inward is not really connecting you to yourself. And that actually can be learned. So if you do want to learn how you can connect more to your true self, how you can unravel your wild self, right? That self that you want to see in the world, right? And I don't mean only from the shiny part, right? I mean like the fullness of who you are, like the everything you are, the person that is just happy with where this life is going and taking. And believe me, trust me, you have time to do that. There is not such a thing as, I don't know, you need to be on vacation and then do those kind of type of work. Do every day a bit. It's gonna accumulate itself, you know. Connecting to yourself every single day is crucial for your growth. Crucial. So if you want to learn more about that, we have the membership that is our second round. Actually, it will be about creating your happiness within. If you want to come and join for 1.5 hours, then come and do so. We have it on the 20th, if I'm not wrong, 20th of April. That's next week. It's $47. We do it over Zoom. And if you are not available at that time, you can actually watch the replay or catch the replay. And with that said, we are also doing a woman's circle soon. So if you want to do that one instead, have a look at my website. It will be up really, really soon. I'm not sure if I'm able to make it until the 15th of April. So let's see, maybe I need to add a little bit time. And as soon as I'm ready, you are able to sign up and do this inner work. You're not alone. And, you know, I started to trust in everyone's own journey. I started to trust and to learn that people have different journeys that I may not understand. So if you have difficulties to understand your own journey, give yourself some peace, give yourself some rest, especially maybe after this video. It was quite juicy. And yeah, with that said, hey, thanks so much for being here. Let me know in the comments how this video made you feel, especially are you able to catch your patterns? Do you know your patterns? Do you know which ones you'd like to actually change and move? So let me know down below. And if we are not yet connected, also make sure to subscribe, to like, and yeah, I see you another time. Bye bye.